Hello, flower friends. This is Jen, and you're listening to the Floral Hustle podcast. And I'm so excited. You guys actually might know my guest because you might Instagram stalk him like I do. It is Ace Berry, and I'm so excited because I haven't had somebody with as many tattoos as me on the podcast yet. So I'm so excited to have you here. And why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about where you're at in the world and what you do.
So I'm Ace. I started in the floral industry in 2007 when I got laid off from the oil field. And
Work in an oil field?
oil field of flowers.
Where?
So I logged oil wells all over the world, really all over the world. But I was based out of Victoria, Texas, and I'm originally from Houston. So I got laid off in 2007, moved back to Houston, and decided to take a completely different career path and start in flowers.
Okay.
So,
and what drew you to flowers?
So when I was 19 years old, I delivered flowers at a very small flower shop in Victoria, Texas. I was absolutely horrible at it. Like, I was the worst delivery driver. I left a dozen roses in a bank on a Saturday at like 11:55. The lady was already gone from work. Like, I was that shitty at it.
Yeah.
But the owner of the shop was so cool. He'd be like, "Hey, Ace, go get this." And he would just start rattling off flower names.
Okay.
I had no clue what flower was what, besides like a carnation and a rose.
Okay.
Absolutely fell in love. Like, I was like, man, flowers are so cool. They're just such a dope thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's just everything they had about it. I just fell in love with it. And then, you hear all the stereotypes. Oh, you can't do that. You can't make that into a career. You can't make money.
Well, I'm going to bring it up, but you're a dude. I mean,
Yeah.
so that also is kind of like out of the box.
Yeah. I heard it all. And then literally I just told myself, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be great at it. And everybody that doubted me, I was just like, it made me work that much harder because I knew that they doubted me. So it's just like, I'm going to prove all of you wrong.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I just fell in love with it and then just went after it.
So you're where in the world now? And like, what is your core business right now?
So I own a flower shop in Fulshire, Texas, which is 45 minutes west of Houston.
Okay.
When I bought my shop for $35,000.
So you bought it. It was like an operating.
Yeah.
Shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was operating. It was not a very good operating shop at that though. It was not great.
Great. That's maybe why you for 35,000.
Exactly. But I just saw the potential. Also, when I was a kid, my dad used to rodeo out in this area. So I knew the area and I knew like a lot of the people that kind of formed in this area. So it made my transition when I got out here a lot easier because I knew like the dynamic of the town and I saw how it was growing. It was such a cool experience.
You went to rodeos out there. Was your dad a cowboy?
Oh yeah. Yeah. My dad's a rider.
Cowboy as well. Like the cowboy hat and the boots, like big buckle my whole life. It's like when to think back at it. Does he still cowboy up? Is he still
No. So he's since retired and he was just crazy because he went from being a cowboy to being a college professor. And I was like, and he was one of the ones that was like, "Are you sure you can do this?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I mean, I can do anything."
Yeah.
So, but like all of his friends, they used to try to make fun of me. And now I'm like, I get paid to travel and create beautiful floral installations all over the world. So
so that is part of your jam now. So you have the flower shop. So you guys do like dailies and weddings and events in your market.
Oh yeah.
But you're a big deal. You're like traveling, making cool shit all over the place. Is that kind of what's happening? It looks like it, at least on Instagram.
Yeah. It's really crazy. So in 2007, I worked at this shop in the medical center of Houston.
Okay.
And I had the aspirations to like do programs and be more seen because I was so different in the floral industry. Like, they really hadn't seen someone like me yet. At the time, I was probably like closer to 400 pounds. I mean, I was very voluptuous. And I was covered in tattoos, and yeah, I just don't think the floral industry had seen someone like me. And I always get told that I was like an anomaly. It was just like
Yeah.
this big burly straight guy that's very delicate with flowers and how I was designing.
Okay.
And then I literally was just like, okay, I think I can do this. And then I met some of the best mentors, and they were like, "You're going to be an educator," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh." And I remember like looking at them like, you know, when a dog like turns their head and like looks at you, and you're like, they're kind of confused. They're like,
Hmm.
I remember just like, "Ah, I never thought about this realm,"
Yeah.
but they were 100% right. And
Because you're
I,
also AIFD,
I
right?
am, I am,
Okay, and I'd love for you to explain, like, especially like newer florists, they probably have no idea what that actually means. I know it's a lot of work, so if you could
yeah.
explain what that means.
So AIFD is the American Institute of Floral Designers.
Okay.
You so what happens is you have to take a written test, and then you have to do a hands-on evaluation, and you have
Okay.
to do 5 designs in 4 hours. The criteria has changed over years. I know when it first started, next year is the 60th year of AIFD. I remember at one point they had to submit a portfolio. So you had to have like really good photography. Then it went into the way the in-person is now, but they could bring like a crate of shit. And when I say shit, I mean like hot glue guns, drill, saws, sanders, like, I mean, just
Just
random.
mental. Yeah.
It's just shit.
Yeah.
And then it got gone down from that to now it's just like you're allowed this many tools, like a knife, some shears, clippers, like it's like I think 5 tools that you get. But
You have to do a bunch of classes before this, like, game on thing or what?
no, I literally I was all self-taught anyways. So the mentors that I had were all AIFD, and they kind of helped guide me into it.
Okay.
But I remember thinking to myself, it's like everyone that I had followed at the time when MySpace was really big
Oh
and
boy.
Facebook was just popping off.
Yep.
But everyone that I followed was what had AIFD initials. So I was just like, well, I need this.
Yep, you're doing it.
Yeah.
So you
And
basically go take the test. Like,
yeah,
and
so
that's hard.
it was difficult. So I'm horribly dyslexic. So like the
Okay.
biggest challenge for me was the written test because
Okay.
like it was timed, and then I had to like, so that to me was a lot harder than the actual design. The
Okay.
design part, I was just like, okay, it's just another day. But I
And
mean,
what are the 5 things you have to make? Like, what's an example?
so that's actually changed here recently. So like the year that I was evaluated, we had to do a sympathy piece, which we did a sympathy basket, and then we did a bridesmaid bouquet, and
Okay.
then had to do a hair piece,
Okay.
and a duplication, which was that we had to copy a picture, and then we had an asymmetrical arrangement for an AIFD member. Like, so they get specific.
Okay.
Now I know they get to do a designer's choice instead of the duplication, and then it's all still the same criteria on the other ones. It's super it's super, I think after going through it, you kinda start seeing things a little differently. I always say I learned all of these rules in quotation marks, you know?
Is there a rule book that they
There
send?
is. It's like literally it's a 2-inch thick book of like, but in this book, it's called the AIFD handbook. It literally has the time periods broke down to what floral design and what floral arrangements were done around these time periods. So it has the history, it has all the different design aesthetics and different like definitions for paving and all these different
Yeah,
design
yeah.
stuff. I learned all of it just so I could break it. And that's
Yeah.
like and it's 100% was like the one thing that I was like, "Oh, why am I putting myself in this box at this point?" Like, I
Yeah.
learned all of this, but now I wanted to, like,
Just
expand so much further because I started following different people that were not AIFD, that were, like, more European designs, and I was
yeah.
just like, "Oh, wow. These people, they're designing with their hearts and not their heads," and I was just like, "Oh my god, I love them."
Who inspires you, like, from a floral perspective?
Oh, from a floral perspective, Mike Borma, Max
I met
Michelle.
him. I
Yes.
went to that school, in
Yes.
Amsterdam.
Yep. So I love them. I just love the way they design. I like the way that they design with their heart. This isn't like like I always hate it when people are like, "Oh, I play with flowers," or "You play with flowers." I
No.
literally want to whap them in the face. I want to be
Yep.
like, just because they don't see it as playing. It's a career. It's an actual thing you go to school for. Like, it
Yeah.
is a career, and I think that's the way we need to look at it here in the United States. We
Well,
need to
I
make
I
see
think that that's the shift that's needed because so many people are just like, "Hey, I'm just gonna bust some bridesmaid bouquets out and do my all these weddings," and they're practicing on the public and not getting any education because they don't see value in, like, any job that is a higher paying job, which you can make money in this. I'm guessing you're making money.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, you go get some type of training for it, and that is, like, there's a disconnect in there. I don't know if you see that because you do a lot of education, but I see in Facebook groups, people are like, I wanna learn how to do this, but I don't wanna spend any money." It's like, you need to spend money to understand how not to totally destroy someone's wedding.
Yeah, that's I think the hardest part has been, like, even through the pandemic, I think you saw a very big push of florists, what we're calling florists, even through TikTok right now.
Yep,
You're seeing the push of people, they're like, "I'm a florist now," and you're like,
you're yeah.
"No, no, that's not what it's about."
They're playing with flowers, do you think?
Yeah, and it's like, you just watch them, and I'm like, right now, like, my biggest ick the biggest ick I have for the industry right now is these freaking super round rose bouquets
Yes.
with the paper, and then you're
Yes,
and then
the
you're going around,
Korean
you're
wrapping paper.
yes, and you're literally like, "Oh, I'm a florist." No. No,
You
you're
learn
no.
how to make a ball.
Yeah, and I'm like, "That is not what it's like, that is not even remotely close." But then I'm watching them on TikTok, and I'm like, "You're using masking tape," and you're like, there's so much stress on the head of the rose, and it's just like, I'm like, literally, it makes me cringe. It
Yeah.
makes me cringe.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, do you think it's a lack of training, or do you think it's a lack of I feel like there's a lack of business acumen and business training. So a lot of people think they play with flowers, but don't learn actually, and they'll take a course or they'll join some membership that has classes on how to do foam-free design or something, but then they have no clue about how to actually run a profitable business.
Yeah.
And
I think that a lot of it, like, for the ones that I'm watching, like, that are just kinda just starting, I think in my opinion, I think they view flowers as a get rich quick thing.
yeah,
Oh,
which
I can
is
go and do like, I can go and do a wedding, I'm gonna do a 40 or $50,000 wedding, and I'm just going to it's easy. Like, I genuinely think people think that it's easy. They
no.
don't see the part of, like, that you're on your feet for 12 hours a day, and you're sacrificing family time, you're sacrificing literally your mental health sometimes.
Yeah.
You your health, you sacrifice so much to do this. I Every florist I know at this point pretty much has carpal tunnel, or their hands are messed up, or their knees are messed up, and
Mine don't. I don't
yes.
rotate my bouquets when I make them though. I don't
Oh,
turn my spirals and my wrists are
mm,
good. But a
see?
lot of people teach that.
Yeah.
Rotate, rotate, rotate. It's like you're jacking your wrist up. And
Yeah,
at least
I
that's what
still
I teach.
rotate and all that, but it's just one of those things, like, I think definitely lack of education is really hard. I think a lot of the education that is getting put out is not the right education.
What do you think the right education is?
I think not as so that's the hard part of the question on that is, like, I think you're having people that are, like, 6 months in, and they're just kinda like, "Oh, I can teach you how to do flowers. I'm a good personality, and people like me, and
Yeah.
I can teach you flowers."
Yeah, we got one of those around here.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the hardest part of that
Yeah.
where
Or I'm cute and I look cute with flowers.
exactly. So I think that's the hardest thing is like there's the people that like I learned from were in the industry 40 years. It's like I sought out the people that I deemed at the time that were the best.
Yep.
Like someone like Gregor Lurch.
Yep.
Uh,
I've
Gregor
taken
Lurch has
his
been doing
class.
yes,
Mhm.
60 years, still relevant. Like you've been
Still
doing this.
so relevant.
Yeah,
Mm.
you're still creating trends. People are still seeking you out to like teach them and to they want to be inspired by you. All those. So that's what I wish that these like new designers would see. And the whole
Yep.
other thing is that we need them in the industry also though.
A
So it's
lot of those people aren't slaying it on Instagram or TikTok, and that's part of like they're not being seen because they're not in that space.
yeah, exactly. And that's the hard thing. I think of like if you're a good social media personality,
Mhm.
you are going to like and there's some that are out there that make a very good living but can't do the work.
Yeah.
And that's like the hardest part is like, oh man, you really can't do this. And
Yep.
then you get there with them and they're like, "Oh, well, how do you do this?" And you're like, "How are you selling this class that
Are
you're"
you doing this shit? I know. I sometimes I wonder, or people that are doing it, and you're like looking at them. Like when I have freelancers, I'm sometimes going, "You own your own business. You've been doing this for a long time. Like those foundational skills just were never there, or they like make it harder than it needs to be. Like I'm like,
Yes.
why are you doing it that way? Like if you did, and they're like, oh, I never thought. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I constantly am like, I look at people, I'm just like, I can't. I
Yeah.
I'm I'm like, I
But
can't.
it's our job to help those people,
It is.
and
It is.
hopefully they are receptive because I do think that that is when somebody starts I know I took no classes until I was a florist for almost 20 years
See, I
because I
didn't
thought I knew everything,
yeah.
like and it's like I don't know remotely even close, but I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah. And I like when I started, I was 27. And I remember like I was completely self-taught and I went back and looked at the pictures and I was like, Jesus Christ, that
Right,
is
I don't
effing ugly. Like
Yep,
that is horrible. Like I've literally told my daughter and my friends, I'm like, who let me touch flowers?
yeah,
Like whoever
or
did that,
how did I take a picture of this? Like, what
yes.
was I thinking?
But at the time I thought it was like amazing. So it's so funny, like as I grew and as you grow as a designer and you start seeing that evolution. And then you start finding different like your tribe of people that are really going to mentor you and help you. And but I think
Yep,
also a lot of the people that are, you know, your Instagram florist, for better
yep,
lack of words, or
yep,
TikTok florist, they don't have the desire to
to learn.
yeah, I think it's more that they don't have the desire than the ones that do want to learn and be like the longevity in the industry
Yep.
to really, create
I
something.
think when they figure out it's harder, that's when it stops. Like,
Oh, 100%.
they're like, "This is hard work," and, like, I I think the threshold, I'm guessing we're probably I mean, are you in your
I'm
late
44.
30s? 40 okay, I'm 45.
Okay.
So, like, our generation, like, is just I think it's different than somebody who's in their 20s. Like, the threshold for, like, killing it and going out after it, like, it's just different, and I think once that's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go at midnight, tear this down, I'm gonna have to schlep all this stuff, I'm gonna have to fill a truck, unbox a truck." Brides can be crazy people, mother of the brides can be more crazy people, and I have people yelling at me, and I like, the wholesaler screwed up, and that just becomes a lot, and that's great that somebody figures that out, hopefully sooner than later, but that to us, we can, I think, manage that a little bit
Oh,
differently. It's like, I don't
yeah.
care if you're crazy. Like, you're
Yeah.
crazy and rubbing off on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think like that's 100% what it is. Like you just kind of watch them and you're like I'm like that insomniac, can't sleep at night. I average
Me
like
too.
4 hours of sleep. And I
Mhm.
will literally like try to turn off my brain. It's like random, like scrolling through TikTok. And I will see people like designing at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And they're like, "Oh, we're trying to get this done for tomorrow." And I'm like, I literally like, I'm like, wow, like,
Wow. I know. I
and
know. I know a lot of florists that that's their jam, and
I
it's crazy.
I literally like everyone that I've like that's ever worked in my place or anything like that. I'm like, you are useless after like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You got there at nine
You've been
o'clock.
there all day, your body and your brain,
Yeah,
it yeah.
you are literally putting out shit at that point. Like and it's not that you are not wanting to do something great. You're just so exhausted that you're just like, your give a fuck is busted. Everything about it is just
You're
done.
just shoving shit together.
Yeah. So I always tell like my people here, like holidays and stuff is like, we're not working late. We're going to be organized and
Yep.
we're going to work a day ahead and then we're going to be done. We're leaving at 7. Like this is a
Yep.
hard stop at this time
Yep.
because you're completely just bleh at that point.
I agree. So
So,
one of the things that I think is interesting and fascinating about you is how authentic you are in social media. And I think just in general as a human, you are. And I know you were on a TV show. So
I
like
was.
you could talk about that. And then I'd love to talk about showing up as your authentic self because I think we both are kind of different. I mean, obviously you're way different than the norm. And how did that feel to like just start acting like yourself when everybody else wasn't like you?
So I'll say this for years, I always say that I was a square trying to fit into a round hole.
Okay.
And I would always sit back and be like, why aren't good things happening for me? And I think the more I craved it, the further it got out of reach. And
Okay.
it's legitly because I was trying to be something I wasn't. I
Okay.
was trying to be, this like polished, clean cut, like I was trying to, not show off my tattoos, not cuss, not be the guy that's like that has a sign that says do epic shit in their studio.
I've been retargeted on Instagram with that very poster, and I loved it. It's awesome.
I so because of all those things, I was like, one day, and my social media manager, she and I were talking, like, and I had like this very polished look, and I couldn't be like, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna cuss, I'm not gonna do this, I'm gonna be this person, and it just wasn't working. And it was like I was just fighting it. And then one day we started talking, and I was just like, you know what? I'm leaning into everything that I am. Like, I'm covered in tattoos. I cuss nonstop. I'm super passionate about what I do.
Mhm.
And the day that she and I like really started figuring all of that out together, because she was a very like big part of like, you're not being who you are.
Yep.
Like the you that is like not but like that's in front of the camera and the you behind the camera are completely different. And so as soon as that happened, it was like the doors started opening up and yeah,
Was
it
this
just started
before
happening.
or after doing the
This
TV
was
show?
all kind of after the TV show, but
Okay.
before the TV show, what is weird before it is that they found me through Instagram. Like
Hmm.
I had 1,200 followers when they found me. Like that was it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was, and they like sought out, and I just kept blocking. And I was like, no, this isn't for
Yeah.
me. This isn't it. And then finally, they got my cell phone number and they actually called me and started talking to me. And
Okay.
I was like, okay, all right, let's hear what this is about. And so that was in, I want to say November. I think it was November is when they called me. Then the next time, like it was like nothing happened in December of 19. And then of 20, January of 20, I was going on vacation on a cruise. And they go, when I got back, I was supposed to do this design for them. They called me. They're like, can you do it before you leave? So everything that I had planned threw out the window and just
No. Yep.
just made a design and recorded it and they were there watching and all this. And then they call me instantly and they go, okay, can you fly to LA Valentine's Day week?
Are
And
you
I'm like,
smoking crack?
I'm dead
Oh,
serious. I was like, y'all do understand that this is Valentine's Day and you're asking florists to come to LA during Valentine. Like, this is our busiest time of year. And they were like,
yep.
yeah, can you do it or not? And I remember I was like the one that was like, yeah, I'll do it, but I want to be on a red eye home. Like I'm there for 24 hours and that's it. It was February 10th. I flew home on the 11th. I
Okay.
was so
Get out.
yeah, like I flew in, got everything done, had to take a 500 question test, and I'm dyslexic, like horribly dyslexic at that. So I remember starting at the very last page and worked forward. Like they were,
Okay.
yeah, they were like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "At least I can see like it's shrinking, so I know I'm getting
Yeah.
somewhere."
Yep.
And then literally they took me back to the airport. It was like a red eye home, and I was walking down the jet bridge, and they called and they were like, "Would you like to be on full bloom?" And I was just like,
Hmm.
"Huh?" Like I didn't think that it would ever
You
like
didn't think you were in.
no, I didn't know if I was in or out. It was one of those very
Yes.
weird because like they
Yeah.
had some other really like they had some really awesome people there.
Yeah.
But like I knew that I could hold my own design wise. Like that was
So
like the
who was
I
there?
knew that
Like,
much.
explain, like,
So
who were you
oh
in
my
the
gosh. So some of the people that were there that time, let's see. So a lot of well, everyone that got cast was there. And then we had alternates, but the original casting, like the boy who cried flowers, he was
Yep.
there.
Okay.
There was, I mean, a guy named Tyler. Oh my God, what is Tyler's last name? Starts with an S. He's like a really big wedding guy, California.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
He was there. And then there was like people that were just like me, like had 1,100 followers. Like they were just this range of people. Lily Roden was there.
Oh, I didn't know she did it.
Yeah. So fun fact, there was actually what got aired on the original first season. We filmed it twice. So we filmed originally in March, got sent home for COVID, and came back and had 2 new cast members because we had already sent home 2 people. So
Oh,
Lily Roden and Sarah Sioni were the original 2. And when we came back, it was Beth O'Reilly and Maricela. I don't remember her last name.
okay. Yep. Yep.
So it was like, it was really crazy, like, because we were like, oh, wait, 2 people, 2 new people.
Yeah.
And
Where'd this come from?
yeah, so which is crazy because the 2 new people that were coming in were both from Houston. So
Hmm.
there's 3 of us from the Houston area. Maricela's store is 7 miles from my store.
Hmm.
And then Beth is literally like 30 minutes from me too. So,
Okay.
which it was funny because they were like, "Do y'all know each other?" And I'm like, "I've known Beth for years, like years." So it was a very weird thing, like when you're having to compete against your friends, and
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine.
then you become friends with all of them too. Like I became friends with all of them, and
Yeah.
we'd
Do
have
you
stuff.
think it was like when you look back, was it the experience that you thought it would be,
No, no,
or less?
I I never knew reality TV. Like I'm a reality TV junkie.
Okay.
So, when I was watching reality TV before being on a reality TV show, it's like, "Oh, this is so neat." Afterwards, you're like, "Oh my god, those people are crazy."
You're
Like,
like, this is horrible.
yeah, it was like, "You have to be crazy to do this." And it's fun. Like, I would go back and do it in a heartbeat. I had a
Okay.
blast.
Okay.
Uh, I mean, you don't get to create a level like that,
Right.
and it's not coming out of your pocket.
Right. Yeah.
So,
You're doing epic shit without
yeah,
having epic wallet around it.
yes. But, like, there's just things that, like, you're like, "Oh, can you do this? Can you say this?" Like, they try to coach you on things to say,
Um,
and I
which
would always
makes you laugh
laugh.
at.
Yeah, and so, like, one of the times they were like, "Oh, can you lose your hat?" And I was like, "Anyone that watches this,"
Absolutely not.
and that's why I told them, I was like, "I wear a hat all the time. No, I'm not taking it off." And they were
I
like,
saw you with your hat off the other day. I had no idea what was under your head. And
"Yes."
I it's like, because
I
I
literally
think I've only seen you with a hat
yeah.
until that moment. Yeah.
So, it was really cool having that and, like, seeing the behind the scenes and, like, I viewed it as a job the entire time. As soon as they said I was casting, as soon as I got there, I was like, "This is a job." Which
Hmm.
what I will say is that I did not want to be friends with any of the cast at first.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to
Game
be
face on.
yeah, I wanted like, you watch enough trash reality TV, and you're like, "I wanna be the villain. I wanna" and the hardest part is that I'm not a villain.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to, like it just like your niceness comes out and you're just like, I didn't want to be their friend. Like I was like, y'all are standing in between me and $100,000. And that's like that's how my original plan was like that. And then
Yeah.
it's just like the human aspect of who I am really
Yeah.
came out. Like,
Yep.
I just want, oh my, they're all so nice. And like
Yep.
Connor and Kristen and Christina, and you literally just form this bond and this love for each other. And like, oh my God, this is perfect. So,
Yeah.
but go back and do it all over again. I wish that they would have not canceled the show. So,
Yeah. It was epic. Like
yeah.
I don't get it, but whatever. It's their
Yeah.
circus, and
I think it just costs way too much to make.
well, I imagine like that.
I don't think they understood that aspect, especially like you're trampling $50 lady slipper orchids and
Yeah.
like
Like
falling around you, you're just keep grinding them into concrete.
yeah.
But I mean that's kind of where just I mean my finale room alone was like 500,000. And
Oh
it's
my god.
just yeah, and then and you
Like
have two of them.
unreal.
So between two designers, Connor and I, you have $1 million just in you know
Yeah.
product. And so I think they didn't understand that aspect.
Yeah. Well, how
They're
would
like,
they? Like, I mean,
yeah,
some
they were
florists
florists.
don't even understand.
Yeah, it was so wild though, like, it was such a fun, like, goofy things, like, me and another cast member, like, we were like, "Alright, we're gonna come up with our own saying." So, like, every time we'd go to fist bump, I'd go, "Snail," and, like, we would just do
Yeah.
random goofy shit just to have fun. Yeah, it was
So
fun.
when you're a social media manager and you were like talking about being your authentic self, like what kind of came up for you? Like, what do you think held you back from doing that before? And what made you like unapologetically okay with going forward? Like, I'm just going to be me. Cause I think a lot of people are scared to do that. Like
Yeah,
that they need to fit this mold.
so she's actually here right now too, she's sitting over here, and I'm like, honestly, I think she just kinda said, we sat down and she was like, "You have this nice guy persona," which you
Yeah.
are she would say, like, "You are nice."
Yep.
But there you have this other side where you're like, you're edgier and you're goofy and all of these different things and rolled into one. She was like, people need to see your personality, who you are. And that's
Hmm.
really what I did. I was just like, okay, I'm not afraid to laugh at myself.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to be, a little bit edgier and say what I want. Like how, on certain aspects, it's like, this is the way it is. And so as soon as we started doing that, it was like, it made it so much easier. Like I was getting attacked for a while for using foam, and like
Do you
I didn't
use
want to
phone?
say anything.
Do
What's
you
that?
use phone? Are you
Oh,
do
I
you
do. I use it, and but I've like truly like tried to educate myself about like the type that I use. I try to use the highest grade possible, so I know it's going to degrade. I've done all those fact things, but I
yeah.
got attacked, and like I was just like kind of letting it go, but it was wearing on me, and I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Was like, "Fuck this." Now I'm going into attack mode, like and so, like, I literally went into attack, and I was like, "Oh, you wanna say this?" And, like, I would see those same people that were in hidden Facebook groups talking bad about me, and I was in New York, and they were coming up and be like, "Oh my god, I'm so inspired by you." And that's when I was just like, "I've had enough."
You're gonna
And
lose your shit.
literally, I was just like, "Oh, is that why you talk bad about me in a hidden Facebook group? You and this person, and this person, and I just went through the list, and they were just like their eyes got big, and I'm like, "Oh, no. No, we're not gonna talk shit and then act like friends, like,
Yeah.
not how it's gonna work." And once that happened, it's like people were like, "Oh, you can't say anything because he will say something back to you." And,
Yeah.
like, you have to if you're willing to say something or put something out there, don't be a keyboard gangster. Like
That is a great term, keyboard gangster. Yeah.
yeah,
They hide
like
behind a computer. And
yeah,
that's just like the internet in general.
yeah,
People
and
they can say shitty things and then they can make fun of Karens and then you have campaigns. We can't make fun of Karens anymore, like because somebody's named Karen. And I mean it's just
yeah.
so yeah, it's just online. Yeah.
So once all that happened, it made it so much easier, and I was just like, "Okay." And then, honestly, people were like, "Well, he's very educated on what you're using," and, like, while you're I would always say, "If we're gonna fight, I'm gonna fight you with facts." I'm gonna
Yeah.
have a fact sheet with me, and I'm gonna be like, "Here's the actual facts of it, and you're coming with your bullshit that you wanna spew." Like, you're not going to pick up all of your chicken wire. Like, let's be honest, you're not. Like, and if you're gonna say that you wanna be like, oh, this is one got me going, like, really well, and I
Hmm.
was like, if you wanna be sustainable, then you should probably change your underwear because that elastic band that's in your underwear is plastics. Like, that you should get rid of. Like, all the way down to, like, I hope you're baking your own bread because the plastic that comes on your bread loaf, like
Yep.
and, like, they were just like, "Holy shit, this guy is, like, in it to win it," and I'm like, just
Have you been to Oasis? Like, I know you're wearing
oh,
a
yeah.
white shirt, so
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
you.
So I work for a part of their division, a different division, but the whole thing is like, I wanted to know all of the facts. So I went directly to them about sustainability, and I
Mhm.
said, "Okay, what do you have like this? Why are people saying this?" And this is
Yeah.
years ago at this point, and they're like, "Well, here's this," and then, like, "This one is not degradable," which is their base model Advantage Plus. That's, like, the cheapest one they have. But
Yep.
everything above that lowest one is degradable, 75% in the first year. And then they did a whole 'nother thing where it's, like, completely degradable within 2 years. It's, like, 567 days. So it's
Mm.
just like, I wanted to be that educated on everything in the floral industry.
Have you tried fiber floral?
I have. I
What do you
have.
think of that?
Have some at this up here.
I use it all the time when anybody says they don't want foam. That's my go-to mechanic.
Yeah.
But what do you think of it?
It's not my favorite. It's a little
It's
harder to use.
tricky.
Yeah, it's harder to get the soft stems in,
It's
but I don't
heavy
hate it.
too.
Yeah, it's
Like
very
it
heavy.
is twice. I think it's twice the weight
Yeah.
because it holds so much water.
I don't like it for funeral stuff, like, if you're having to do stand-up easels,
Water will just run
shoot
out.
out of it, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I mean, I think that you do what's best for you do what's best for your
Yeah.
client, you do what's best for your business.
I did
I
a whole installations workshop with fiber floral.
Yeah, and
It
I
was
just don't think
sustainable, but
just don't
it
attack
was tough.
people. Yeah, and that's my whole thing is, like, just don't attack people. Like,
Yeah.
there's this place for everything and everyone in this industry, and
Yeah.
so that's kinda where I'm like, let's just I don't know. That's my whole thought
Stay
on
in
that.
your own lane, water your own grass.
Yeah, like, if this is where works best for you, then do it. Hey, if you don't like foam, I'm not gonna convince you of that you have to use it. Hey, you're
Yep.
doing what's best for you, your business, your livelihood. You
Yep.
know what is best for
Absolutely. Yep.
you. And I think there's too many people that are like, "Oh, you have to be me." It's
Yep.
that is what it is. It's a lot of
Well, I
people.
think people have a hard time thinking it's okay for people just to not agree. Like,
Yeah.
we're all supposed to agree, and I mean, I don't think that that's feasible. I
No.
I mean,
That's what made this country great. Like, us in general, our industry great. Is
yeah,
that the disagreements, like, to be able to sit down, have a conversation, openly disagree, but still have the respect and the love for each other that
yep,
you're "Hey, I can see your side. I don't agree with it, but I can see it."
yeah,
Like, to me, that is beautiful. I wish that we would do that on everything.
yeah.
So
That would make the world a better place, but no.
100%. Like, you don't have to agree with me, and I'm not right on everything. I just do what I think is best for myself, my business, the people that work here for me, you
Yeah.
know?
So, what do you think has been, like, the biggest contributors to, like, your business being where it's at right now?
The people that I've employed, 100%, like, I am not me without them.
Okay.
They
How many people
make
do you have
me
work for you?
so we have Erica, which just started with us. She's actually on the other side of the screen.
Okay.
And we have Denise, which is my shop manager. She started right after filming was done for Full Bloom. And then I
Okay.
have Cherry, which also started around the same time as Denise. Susie, which has been here since like 7 years now. Then I have
Okay.
Sabina, which started with me when she was 17. Now she's 24. My first shop manager started with me 6 months after I opened. Her name was Crystal, and she just moved back to Ohio. But,
Okay.
like, it's they so 5, 5 total. And
Okay.
then I have, like, part-time people that come in seasonally and stuff like that. And
Okay.
then Rachel also comes in and helps and stuff, and she's, you know. She doesn't technically work here, but she does like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She keeps everything,
Do you
focused.
think like outsourcing social media is, or like having somebody do that is pretty critical?
Best thing I've ever did. Best
Like,
best thing I ever did.
did you not really do it before you had that person?
I tried, like, it was not great. Like,
Okay.
like, I was like, "Okay, well, I have to do this, and these are all the rules, and you have to post at this time," and not understanding anything about social media.
Okay.
Uh, it's funny, I did another podcast, and I literally told the person, I was like, "Hey, do you know anybody? I'm looking for a social media manager." Like, I was like and she was like, "I've got the person." And literally, Rachel came in, and when we sat down, it was literally like we interviewed each other. It was so great. And I remember looking at her, I was like, "What are your I want if you're gonna believe in my goals and my dreams,
Yeah.
I
What
want
are your
your
goals?
goals, your
Yeah.
dreams, and I have to believe them in it and yours just as much."
That's a great
You
way to
know?
look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, literally, she and I, like, I will call her sometimes and be like, "This is," and then so we will go from business to, like, friends, back to business, and we just intertwine, and I'm always just like, when stuff has happened in her life, I'm like, "Don't worry about it." Like, she's called me and she's like, "This is going on, blah, blah." It's like, "Don't worry about it. Like, we'll figure it out later. It's not a big deal." And, like, I truly believe, like, if you're not good at something, hire people
Yeah.
that are really great at it and let them be great at it. I
Right.
am not going to tell her what to do
Right.
because
She knows
she
what. Okay.
she knows what she's doing.
Yep.
I think the only thing I've ever said is like, "Hey, can we post to TikTok?" And she was like, "Yep." Like, but, like, she literally she gets on my ass. She's like, "Learn how to film." Y
Yeah.
Film she's laughing right now because she just told me this today. She was like, "Film this correctly." I'm like, "Okay." And, like, it's just like I forget, like, I get so ingrained into, like, getting my designs done that I
Yeah.
forget to stop and, like, get a film or something, and, she literally just found out that I was in Phoenix last week. She was like, "You were in Phoenix?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "That would be good to know." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Good luck."
Whoops.
Yeah, but she's absolutely amazing. Hands down, like, the probably top 3 things that I've done in my career was look at you here. She's
Mhm.
like, "Stop, it's okay." Was hire Rachel. Yeah, and she
Yeah.
is she makes it seamless, and she makes me think of things that I don't think of,
Okay.
and she pushes me as a designer. She also pushes me as a creative in general. Like, I was very reluctant on, like, dancing and stuff. She was like, "It's funny, and people love it when you're up here being a goofball."
Yeah.
And "Oh." And, like, it's just fun of those things, which we've come to find out that I'm not the best dancer when it's a choreography, horrible.
Oh, I have not seen your choreographed dances. I don't think.
It's because
Are
they're that bad.
they're that bad? Okay.
They are that bad. But, yeah, we shoot ideas off of each other
Okay.
always, and then, like, yeah, she's amazing. Now, what's crazy is now she's working for more floral people
Yep.
besides me, and, like, she went from the person that she used to work for before she did me, and then now she's done more floral people,
Yeah.
and it's like she's learning the name of flowers, and she's learning, like, different designs, and she's
That's
just
cool.
she's getting it. So it's
Cool.
really awesome to watch her, you know? So
Well,
so
it was awesome talking with you. Like, I just loved your energy, and I mean, like, that's why I was like, I'm just gonna reach out to him and, like, see if he'll do an interview because
yes.
I've only done, like, a handful because my show is mainly solo, but I just loved, like I love watching you
Well, thank
in
you.
not a weird way. But and I also just love when somebody is truly themselves because when I see people just like, "I'm just playing with beautiful flowers," it, like, makes me wanna throw up in my mouth a little bit, and
Yeah.
you're so not that, and I appreciate that authenticity in our whole, like, world.
Well, that's like yeah. I mean, I have bad days. I always say, like, I mean,
Everybody does.
oh, like, my bad days, like, we all go through design block, like, I throw stuff at the back door and watch faces shatter because it makes me feel like it's like, "Okay, everything's gonna be
If
fine." I
I
just
threw a vase in the studio or whatever, like,
yeah,
I don't think
so,
people.
I mean, you get it, you like, people bring you these ugly
Oh, I
vases,
know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
so
was at my storage unit this morning going, what in the hell is this?
100% what you should do is like, have you ever had design block where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not coming together? Take a vase and throw it. It will literally, like, when it shatters, it will literally be like, okay. And like, it's like your creative juices literally like, get sparked and they just start flying again.
Yeah.
I literally had a design block and I was mad about something here in the store. And I had a whole plastic thing of strawberries and
Yeah.
like literally I was doing a thing for accent decor. And I was like, okay, was not coming together. I
Okay.
throw all these strawberries, a whole tub of strawberries at the back door. I mean, they go to mush and just like explode. And as soon as I did it, I looked on the ground. I was like, oh my God. Like the
It clicked.
creativeness. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm definitely doing this. Like, I don't want anything manicured and cut nice and straight. I want everything to be gnarled and
Oh,
chewed.
huh.
And so it's like I was like on my knees, like scooping up strawberries, trying to like put it together.
Yeah.
And but that's the type of stuff that like I think is you have to be authentically you. Just do it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being on the show. It was so amazing. Tell everybody how they can find you, connect with you, stalk you online. What does that
So
look?
everybody can find me through my Instagram, which is Ace in Full Bloom. That's also my website, which is aceinfullbloom.com. You can find
Okay.
out where I'm gonna be, where I've been.
You travel a lot, so you have some workshops coming up too.
I do. So I have one that's fixing to be announced in October for here in Houston with a European designer. We're just waiting on the last little bit of details. And then
Okay.
I've also got one coming up in January, taking 15 to 20 designers to Ecuador to design on the farm, seeing your farm, exactly how your flowers get to you and like what the like the hardest parts of being a floral farmer on that
Wait,
level is and
yeah.
how hard it is to get you that rose at
Yep.
Valentine's Day.
That's so cool. So if they go on your website, they can like figure out a way to connect and find out stuff
Yes,
about that.
it'll
Or if they watch you on Instagram, you'll
Instagram.
announce that.
Yeah, I have all of that going on. And if you're in North Carolina, I'll be there next week and I'll be in Chicago later this afternoon. Well, it depends
Cool.
on when it airs. When is this airing?
When is it? I would say I could probably do it like next week.
Oh, perfect. I'll be in
So
North
next
Carolina.
sweet.
So,
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
no problem. Y'all, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. This was so good. It's like therapy. It's amazing.